Hey, Andre, I've always wanted to have one of these bigger John Deere tractors, and now, well, all right, this is not a tractor review, obviously, but this is our first tow in the new Chevy Silverado EV. And Andre, you know this, right? Real estate is all about location, 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 which means that towing is all about what?
Range, range, range.
So let's show them what we're going to be using as our tow rig for today. That's it. That's the new Silverado EV.
Yep.
And you know what? Since you're the truck guy, why don't you hand me the camera and you do the towing and I'll do the filming.
Yeah, so towing with an electric vehicle has been problematic so far. We've learned this because range goes down dramatically. You need to understand when you need to charge, where you need to go. And Chevrolet says they've solved a lot of these problems because they have a giant battery in this new Silverado
How
EV.
big?
We don't know exactly because they won't list that number, but we think it's around 212 kilowatt hours.
Kind of like the Hummer EV, huh?
Yeah, and they're quoting 450 miles of real world range on this brand new Silverado EV.
So how much weight are we towing? What does that tractor weigh with the trailer?
So I was just talking to the representative from John Deere. So the tractor itself could be about between 4,500 pounds and 5,000 pounds.
Yeah, it makes our ranch tractor look pretty silly, doesn't it?
Yeah, and the trailer is another about 3,000. So we're towing close to 8,000 pounds.
And the maximum tow rate on the Silverado EV is how much?
It's rated at 10,000.
Oh, okay.
So
Close.
should be good.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, well,
So
let's
get in.
Yeah, let's go in and take it for our first tow video. Can I give you the camera for a second?
Yep.
Thank you.
So already the experience is new. Well, the bell, the ding is not new. The Chevrolet ding is still here. But what is new is there is no button, no key. The key we have in the vehicle.
So it's like a Tesla. You don't have to turn it on.
Right. You just get in. It knows the key is with you, and it's already powered up. The air conditioner is running, and it's ready to go, except for tow haul mode.
Okay, why don't you show them that?
So,
Actually, show them what the number does. Are we already in tow haul mode?
no.
Okay, so right now we've got, 251 miles of range?
Yes, that's... Oh, and there's another Silverado EV approaching. And it's telling me there's somebody next to me. And then I hit this button for tow haul.
And show them what happens to the range. I think it was in tow haul mode.
There it is.
You know what? It is in tow haul mode because once you plug in the truck, it automatically, get this, decreases
yes.
your estimated range based on the fact that you already have a trailer.
So because whoever connected the trailer,
Yes.
Chevrolet, this is a Chevy event.
Right.
When you plug it in, you already knew that. But now I do have my little symbol.
Yes.
My little symbol says I'm in tow haul mode. Let me check my gain. Ooh, it's a 10 Raman.
Well, that's too high.
That's too high.
Yeah. Why don't you take it down? Yeah.
Can you see that?
Yeah, I can see that. That's way too high.
That's too high. So let's test the trailer brake
That
controller.
I would think that would severely limit our range because the brakes would be on.
Well, it'll be jerky,
Yeah.
right? The trailer brakes would be too active. So let me put it in drive. I have a stock.
I also like this. They programmed waypoints here.
Yeah.
And it tells you the state of the battery.
At each point.
At each point. Now, here's a big number that we need to discuss, right? Chevy says that this new work truck, which is a ground-up, bespoke electric truck platform, and they like to point out that it's unlike the Lightning, which obviously is built on the current F-150 platform. So they're saying, given the battery size, which they haven't disclosed, but we're guessing at right about 212, 213 kilowatt hours, you get 450 miles of range, which is crazy.
Yes.
Crazy.
It's currently leading.
Here comes another one.
Yeah.
Hey, that was, you know who that was?
Oh, straight pipes.
Right, yeah, so last night we were talking with them and we were talking about how they built this truck, right? Because it's neither body on frame, nor is it a unibody, nor is it kind of a skateboard. It's kind of a hybrid of all those.
Yes.
So the straight pipe guys called it unibody on frame. I kind of like that.
Let us know what you think, because unibody on frame is pretty funny.
That was Jacob.
Yeah, but the battery structure is part of the structure, right? So it's almost like a skateboard.
Yep.
But then the chief engineer, Nicole Kratz, was telling us the rest of the body is kind of holistically tied into it. So it's kind of a hybrid between them.
So how much horsepower and torque do we have?
We have 510 horsepower and 615 pound-feet of torque in normal mode. But GM engineers have told us that in tow haul mode, the mapping of the accelerator is a little bit more aggressive, and we may have a tiny bit more power in tow haul mode.
So, if you read between the lines, you know what that means, Andre.
What?
That means that if you really want to drag race this truck, you want to do it in tow haul mode. Right?
Yeah, that's if you read between the lines.
Yeah.
But Roman,
when you're not hauling, of course.
I am right now.
Yeah.
Right now, Roman, I'm not getting a lot of regen.
Okay.
So let me go here and set level high, and let me check.
So you can change the one pedal driving to off, on, or in tow haul mode, you automatically goes to high.
Yeah,
You don't have different levels.
All right, so let me try that. Ooh, look at this. I'm regaining a lot of energy. So like 170 kilowatts just by letting off the pedal. So, and that's what you want, especially in mountainous driving. You want that control, right? You want to actually have that regen help you.
So we've towed now with a lot of electric vehicles because we've owned a Hummer EV, right? Which we've towed with as well. We owned the Lightning, which we've towed with as well. And let's talk about the positives, and then we'll talk about the negatives, which GM is hopefully trying to address. So the positives are tons of torque.
Yep.
This truck is heavy, right? We figured it's, how much did we figure?
About 8,500 pounds by itself.
Yeah, so 8,500 pounds just for the truck, and that's good because that gives you more control over the load.
Yeah.
So you've got tons of torque, you've got a lot of weight, and that all translates to a lot of control over the load. The downside is, of course, range. Now, we have found that when you're towing with the Lightning, which has 320 miles of stated range, or the Hummer EV, which has 350 miles of stated range, EPA range, if it's not cold, you're probably down 30%, and if it is cold and you're towing maximum, you're probably down 50%. So figure on a good day that Hummer we had, or the Lightning, could maybe go 150 miles towing, let's say, the same amount.
Right.
Maybe. And more realistically, if you're actually on the highway, you're going to be like at 120. Now, with 450 miles of range,
you could go a long ways.
You should be able to go up to 200 miles at least, and I'm being very conservative, maybe even more between charging points. And that's pretty impressive because right now, I don't think, given the current state of technology, not in this truck, right, which is hitting dealerships right now, and it's only a fleet truck, but if you're in a Lightning, or if you're in maybe a Hummer EV,
or even a Rivian,
yeah, you're not going to be able to tow more than 100 and some miles between stops, which makes going cross country very painful indeed.
Yeah, and we're going to keep watch on this, Roman.
Okay.
So the current trip, we've so far traveled about 2.5 miles, and it's listing 1.8 miles per kilowatt hour. We're not going super fast. This is about a 45 mile an hour zone, but that's a good number.
Yeah. It is a good number
for towing.
The other, of course, problem is where you charge and how you charge.
Yeah.
So it would be very almost undoable to have to unhook every time you want to charge. Now, GM has put their charging point in the same location the Tesla puts theirs, which is on the driver's side rear quarter, kind of in the corner. And that's great if you want to back up into a supercharger, which GM has now partnered with Tesla on, right? But it's not so great if you want to actually charge the truck while you're towing, because at this point, to actually get it charging at a supercharger, which is coming, you'd have to take up all the superchargers.
Yeah, and that's not doable.
Right? The truck would have to be parked kind of parallel across the supercharging base.
You really need pull-through locations, right?
Exactly.
Where you actually pull through like a normal fueling station, right?
Yeah.
Just pull through, connect, charge, and then be on your way. The other thing we have to talk about is charging rate, right? Because they still have this 400 volt architecture that converts itself to 800 volt for charging as well. And that allows them to go up to 350 kilowatt maximum rate on level 3 fast charging, which Electrify America currently supports, right? And we've seen that with our Hummer. When we owned the Hummer, we saw those charge rates. Of course, you won't get it every time, and you won't get it everywhere, right?
And you won't get it all the time. What you'll get is that maximum charge rate.
For a few minutes, or maybe.
GM says 100 miles in 10 minutes. Which is a very squishy number. It doesn't mean that much because it depends on the state of charge of your battery, the kind of charger you're using, right? If you're on one of the ultra-fast Electrify Americas, then you may get it. It also depends on how cold or warm the battery is. There's just a lot of variables, so it's very squishy indeed. But they're saying, and this is cool, that number is going to change for the better as they roll out more trucks, and they actually, I'm guessing now, I don't want to speak for GM, but over there updates are coming. They're going to improve that charge rate as well as the efficiency of the truck, which would be cool because, like I say, 450 is a big number, Andre.
Yeah, and so now we have to talk about kind of how it tows, right?
How does it tow? Tell me.
So this truck has a fairly long wheelbase. It's about 145.6 inches. So it's kind of like a crew cab standard internal combustion truck as far as its wheelbase, but it has a unique chassis, right? So it has independent suspension front and rear with coil springs, and it's super solid. This doesn't have Super Cruise. This model doesn't, but they will offer it in RST models. We have a tractor doing some work here,
Oh, just be careful going around it.
So right now I'm letting off my accelerator, and the truck is just slowing down and stopping using regen. So I feel kind of good about that because I'm recapturing a lot of that energy.
Hey, he's got a bigger tractor than we do. Come on. Oh, I was happy we had the biggest tractor. We need like that 9 series or 900 series John Deere. I don't think we'd be towing that.
This is a 4 series. Yeah. So we own a 1 series.
Yes.
This is a 4 series.
But the 9 is big, dude.
That's probably going to be over 10,000. Well, this will be like 20 or 40,000
Yeah,
pounds.
exactly. You need a semi to do that bad boy.
Yeah.
But you were saying, go ahead.
But it's stable.
Yeah.
So it's really stable. I'm feeling really comfortable. It's just tracking right, nice and true. Of course, it's not a mountainous terrain, so we'll probably have to do a little bit more towing with this.
We'll have to ike it, dude.
Yeah, we'll have to ike it and see how it handles the mountains and the curves and higher speeds.
So GM has this interesting strategy in the rollout of their new Silverado EV. They're starting out with the fleet work truck, and they're starting out with the most expensive one first, which is the 4WT, right? 4WT stands for work truck, and that's going to be this one that we're sitting in. It's going to be $79,000, Andre.
Yeah, after destination charges.
Yeah, that's a lot of money for a work truck. And then there's going to be a 3WT, a 2WT, and 1WT with smaller batteries. There goes another one as we go down the line. And then eventually they're going to roll out the RST, which once again is the one with the fancy roof.
Fancy interior.
Yeah, it's got the midgate. It's got and there's a video over at TFL, alltfl.com, where we actually profile that compared to this. So go check that out. And rumor has it that might be as much as $105,000 to $115,000.
Yeah, so the prices are very high. I'm still waiting for the 1WT.
You want that one, huh?
I want the base one.
That's kind of like a one of those double D 4 double D batteries. It has a range of like 5 miles.
No.
Okay.
They haven't stated all the information about it yet. But initially they came out and said 40,000, right? It's because I'm pretty sure, this is my opinion, is that when Elon Musk talked about launching the Cybertruck almost 4 years ago, he said 40,000, and then Ford, GM, and others said, okay, we can do that too.
Yeah.
But now they're kind of backtracking.
Yeah. So the Lightning Pro, which is Ford's version, started out at what, 39 initially,
plus destination.
Yeah.
And I saw in real world, a $42,000 Lightning Pro. That was probably the deal of the year.
Yeah.
Now they're starting at 59,000, Roman.
Yeah, I think they've decided that they don't want to take a loss on the batteries, and so you figure if that's 59, and we're guessing here, this is also going to be somewhere in that neighborhood when you get the 1WT. But it is definitely a work truck. Look, you've got vinyl floors, you got a lot of basic plastics, vinyl. Once again, I do like the HVAC controls that are separate. You know, two rather smaller screens, at least when compared to the RST version of this.
Mhm.
But this is kind of everything you need and nothing you don't. You know what I mean?
Yep.
There's nothing really like super fancy, and I kind of like it. I kind of like how utilitarian it is. I feel like I could jump in here if I were at a work site, you know, with all my dirty clothes and not feel like I'm ruining my expensive truck.
And also, I don't know if you can tell, but the room inside isn't tremendously
It's
big.
massive, yeah. How big's the bed?
5 foot 11 inches. I got it wrong once, and I'm not gonna get it wrong again.
So that's pretty good size, you know.
Yeah.
And then if you have the midgate, basically what happens is that folds down, the seats fold down, and then you can remove the window and you can have like long bits of lumber or anything else. Now there is a Trail Boss coming, and we've talked to GM and we said, hey, when the Trail Boss comes around, that's the one we want to buy, just because in Colorado that's the one that makes the most sense for us, right?
Yeah, indeed. And that's going to be a lifted truck with bigger tires and tow hooks. I saw tow hooks in their teaser image.
So Chevy says this will accelerate from 0 to 60 without the trailer in about 5.5 seconds ish, right?
I think they said like 5.8 or
Yeah.
5.7.
And what
Yeah.
we found is that when you start hauling and towing and trailering, as GM would say, then you double that number.
Yeah, so if you expected 5.5 from an empty truck, expect like 11-second acceleration times.
Hey, if you have a chance and safely pull over, let me jump in the back. I'm going to kind of show the people how much room there is in the back. Look at the size of those doors. I mean, look how giant they are. Let me open this up. Let me in, Andre. Look at the size, and look at the size of that opening. And the other cool thing is, you can lift this up here, and then this is your charger, of course. This does have a front, but if you lift both of them up, there's just a huge amount of space for either dogs or stuff. All right, Andre, here, can I give you the camera for a sec?
Yeah, you want to buckle up?
Yeah, I'll buckle up.
Dude, look how much legroom you have.
I know, and I'm sitting behind myself, and I sit with the seat all the way back. Pretty incredible. All right.
I think they've taken the crew cab to like the mega level.
I know. I mean, this is like, what does Ram call it? The mega cab?
Yeah,
What's above mega?
like
Ultra mega?
Ultra XL.
I mean, look at my feet underneath the seat, but look at the amount of legroom I have, and look at the amount of headroom I have, and I'm sitting in the back here. Quite a lot of space, Andre. This is like this. You know what this is like?
What?
Keep your eyes on the road, please, Andre.
What?
You're trailering.
Okay.
You know how, like, when we get these European luxury sedans or Japanese luxury sedans, and they say that the back seat is like a first class airline seat?
Yeah.
This is like that. This is the actual thing. There's more room here than in the back of like a BMW 7 Series.
Well, that's a good thing for work people, right? At the end of the day, when you need to go back, you know, from your job site, you want to have that space, right, and just relax.
All right, I'm gonna give you another number here. I'm gonna zoom in. Look, there you go. 1.1 miles per kilowatt hour. That's what we're down to.
So let's say we have 212 kilowatt hours. So now we're approaching 210, 220 miles of towing.
Yes. Yeah.
So kind of like what we estimated, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So you know, potentially, if you're hauling this tractor across country, you could go, let's say, 200 miles between charging stops.
But that would also mean that you could go almost to zero, and then 100%, which you never do, right?
Well, you can, but whoever does that, because you get range anxiety.
Yeah. So really, realistically, it's probably just high 180, you know, 190, something like this. But if you're going around town and stopping a lot, I think it'll be a lot better than this, because you're going to be regenerating more, you're going to be putting more energy into the battery. All right, so we're approaching the end of this trip. We need to go another 5 miles-ish.
Okay.
And we are hovering around 1 mile per kilowatt hour, kind of still.
All right, well, let's look at the end, and then we'll finish up this video, okay?
Okay. So, Roman, what I noticed, and by the way, as soon as you get out,
Yeah.
the truck turns off.
It's nice.
1 mile per kilowatt hour.
So towing about 7,000 or 8,000 pounds,
Exactly.
about 212 miles of range.
Yeah, so That's decent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we'll have to try it. I mean, obviously, I hate ending this way. With kind of time will tell.
But this is not our trailer. This
Right.
is not our area that we know. Roman, I also want to point one more thing out: the payload.
Okay.
So the payload on this truck is 1,458 pounds.
Yes.
Which, while it's good for an electric pickup, it's not great for a true work truck.
That's mid-sized truck territory.
My Chevy Colorado has the same payload.
Yeah.
So I think they could continue to improve this. You know, maybe the smaller battery version will have even more payload, so we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, let me borrow your mic for a second.
Yeah.
Just for a second here. I'll be right back. I'm going to go say hi to the boys. All right. All right, gentlemen, we'll get out of your way. But I have to say, we stole... Here, let me give this to you for a sec. Yeah, we stole your description.
Oh, unibody on frame.
Unibody on frame.
Exactly.
After a couple drinks, that's what comes out.
Jacob and Yuri,
Oh, hello, Yuri.
Hello.
please tell us more about this truck.
Oh, good God, look at that. They've got their Continental.
Continental recommended tire. I got nothing clever. I got nothing clever to say. I don't know.
Tons of clever
Let Jacob talk. He knows what he's
Jacob
talking
talk,
about.
First of all, what would you like me to talk about?
What do you think of the styling?
Styling is okay. I
Yeah.
think it looks a little bit more futuristic than an F-150 Lightning.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if buyers of work trucks want that. I don't know because I'm not a buyer of a work truck. But I do think it looks kind of cool.
All right, let me ask our viewers, who's got the better beard, Jacob or Yuri?
Oh my God.
I got to give it to Jacob.
I've got an awful beard. This is just not shaving. This isn't a beard.
All right, we'll let
How about you guys? Why don't you guys have beards? Come on.
We're Eastern European, so
So are we.
we can't grow anything.
I look like a disheveled drunken Santa Claus. All right, guys.
Thanks,
guys. I love your unibody on frame.
Yes.
You come up with that?
I did.
He did. All right.
She
see
did.
ya. Well, yes. Well, there you have it, guys. Our first drive, dare I say, first tow review of the new Silverado EV. And if you want to see more, head on over to All TFL or go check out the straight pipes. They've got some words of wisdom as well, right, Andre?
You know what's funny? This truck doesn't have any pipes.
No pipes, yeah. Hey, where are the pipes?
There's no pipes.
There's no pipes. Come on. You didn't think that through, did you, when you came up with the channel name?
No, definitely not.
All right, see you guys. Ciao. All right, bye.